Hello and welcome to another episode of my Jump'n'Run tutorial series using GODOT MONO. In this episode we will learn how to export variables so that we can edit them here on the right. For that we open the player.cs file, and at the variable that we want to export we simply create those brackets and say export in front of it. Ideally you'd have the variable name on the next line. We can do the same with our gravity value or our G value. We add export as well. But there's one more thing that you have to consider here, and that is that const cannot be exported. That has to be a public float, just like that. You can still treat it like a const, but it is not going to be one. Now if we head back into GODOT Mono, we first have to hit on build so that the C# code gets compiled and so that Godot can use it. If we now click on the player, we can now see that here on the right, we can edit the mass and G values. So for a comparison, this is how the player falls normally. And if you now increase our mass to 2, you can see it's a bit faster. And if we now say, okay, 0.001, we can see that it is quite slow. But the export tag is even more powerful than that, because we can go ahead and add a property hint. And then we can say, all right, what kind of hint should it be? And from this list, you can already see a few things. For example, we can define a range. And then we say, comma, here is a hint string. So we should say, all right, our mass should at minimum be 0.01. At maximum, it should be 100. And it should increment in 1.01 steps. We can see that this little line has added, and we can drag this around. And you can see it is incrementing in 0.01 steps. It's always limited to 2 decimal places, and it is limited to 100 and a minimum of 0.01. We have so many property hints. For example, property hint.file, which means that a special dialog will open so that we can insert the file, and we can even, as the hint string, enter specific file types, example.png, always with that asterisk in front of it, and this is always gonna be stored as like a string. Now, as you can see under demo file, we now have this folder where we can pass in a file with a .png type. And now this is the value of the string demo file. If we want to link to nodes, then we have to say public node path, and we can export this as well. And as you can see, this now expects another node. This is useful, for example, when we want to link 2 nodes together. So for example, we can put the tilemap node in here, tilemap, and this equals get node tilemap and then to node. Now we can directly access the tilemap like this. This, in my opinion, is a very useful tool. So in the next episode, we will get to make the player move and to make him jump, and to make the jump and the falling feel right. I hope you enjoyed this video, and with that I say goodbye.